Welcome back to the Front Mission First OP walkthrough, and now it is actually time to do some upgrades. So I'm going to see how I can improve all of the actual squads here before we go ahead and move into the next mission. And let's see, I think what I'm probably going to do is put this Persea torso on because that's a buffed version of what we had. And let's see what we got here. Vampire, that's a machine gun, but that kind of limits our options there. I'm not really seeing any better arms. I mean, this one's like maybe slightly better, but that's less HP. Let's see, Bullseye 2, but that's a lot heavier than what we can actually handle. So it looks like for now, your best option is still the Zoroa arms that I've had until we can get to another upgrade. We're at a kind of awkward position of the game right now where like it's like, oh, we're gonna kind of tease some new stuff on you, but you can't exactly have it. I'm gonna go further down and let's see the Persea arms. The Persea arms have slightly more defense and a slightly higher hit point, but I prefer the higher HP. So we're still going to stick with the Zoroa arms for both the right and the left. Legs-wise, there's really nothing new. So you're just going to stick with the Pious since they're still the most mobile. And you do need that. I mean, there are the Godwit legs, but the problem with those, I don't think you can actually jump with those. I would be surprised if you could. CPU. Alright, let's see. What CPU are we going to update Royd with? Let's see which one he's using. He's using the Verso, which is pretty much an all-around one. So we're just going to give him the Proximo, and we're going to upgrade him with the Bison backpack. And Royd's weapons, let's see, Art Assault G. Let's see, is the Black Star better than the Art Assault G? According to the math, the Art Assault G is 3 times 25, and the Black Star is 4 times 19. Now, 3 times 25 is 75. 4 times 19... Okay, so 4 times 20 is 80, and then subtract 4, that is going to be 76. So it's really just one more point of damage, but that's like just as accurate, and it does take some weight down, and it slightly raises the actual short-range combat rating, slightly raises, but honestly, I'd rather have my damage concentrated 3 times 25. It's only like 1 point of damage that's different. Not really worried about that. Let's see, left shoulder. Do we have any new shields? Do we have any new shields, good sir? Yes, we do. The WS-14B is the brand new available shield here. Any new available missile launchers? We got... sadly, no, it doesn't look like it. I'm going to have to check setup to see if we have a higher rated missile launcher, if one of the ones I earned in the previous missions is any better. But for now, it looks like the Ceres missile launcher is actually still the best you can get. So it looks like with the Art Assault G, that's all you can really do. And I'm going to give you the Persea torso again. Leave the Zoroa arms, no problem. And the legs, we're going to maintain the Pious, Proximo CPU, Bison backpack, not a problem. Leave the Art Assault Gs alone. And now for the left shoulder, scroll down to the WS-14B shield right there. And you're going to want to, let's see, you can upgrade to the crane if you want, but like I see no reason to, because like the Ceres has the longer range, and we've been doing absolutely fantastic with that. So that's it for Ryuji, and we're just going to, I guess, upgrade everybody's torso, as you have seen. You know, upgrade everybody to the Persea, leave the arms alone, you know, leave the legs alone, because they're all Pious. And you start upgrading folks across the board. And let's see, left shoulder, going to give her the updated shield WS-14B. Leave her missile launcher alone. So there's nothing more we can do for that. And we're going to keep upgrading everybody as needed. You know, leave the arms and legs alone. Upgrade to the Persea body, because the Zoroa are still actually what we need. Leave the Pious legs on there. And, you know, basically the same thing for almost everybody across the board, but make adjustments where needed. Like, say, for example here, since he's running a bazooka, we're going to upgrade him to the Thunderbolt. Okay? Art Assault G is fine. Leave that alone. And now what we're going to do is upgrade the shield to the WS-14B and leave the missile launcher alone. And now we're going to upgrade JJ. Again, the Persea. Leave the arms alone, legs alone. Proximo CPU. Bison. And now we're going to go over to the WS-14B shield as the added upgrade and leave the missile launcher alone. And now we're over here at Mech. Now there are new parts that can probably be utilized for Mech. As we can see here, I don't think there's any new melee weapons yet, but I'm going to check anyway. Might have to do the Persea, but I think we might be able to get away with doing the Blizaya 2 if we have enough weight to work with. We're going to find that out right now. Are there any better melee and dodge CPUs? I see we can put the Mezzo one on her, so we're going to do that since it's going to benefit melee. Just equipped the backpack. Now we're going to need to obviously check to see if there's any more melee weapons here. Nah, that's a no. We still have no new melee weapons. We've been stuck with that F4 hand rod for like the longest time. And still nothing better yet. So it looks like all I can do for your melee personnel is stick the WS-14B shields on them and upgrade their armor. Then I'm going to check her parts again, too. Let's see, I went with the Blizaya 2. Can we get away with the Blizaya 2 arms? Yes, it looks like we can. What about the right arm? Can we get away with it? We're cutting it close in our weight limit. Can we get away with the legs? Legs are overweight, but we need mobility anyway. Let's see, what legs do I have on her? What legs does she have? Her legs out to... Yeah, she had the Prosian legs. Hers are actually kind of outdated. Flugel puts her overweight. So we got the Persea legs, 18 mobility. I think we're going to stick the Pious legs on her to maximize her mobility and also keep her within the weight limit. Let's see. I think we just put the... Yeah, we already put the Mezzo CPU on here and gave her the backpack. So that takes care of Mei Hua with her modifications. Now it's time to do Paul. Paul's going to get the Persea torso, leave the arms and legs alone, as I've shown you for the Zeroa and the Pious. Let's see, I think his fire control... Oh, no, actually, we're going to give him the L-Walked fire control system right there, since that increases long range by 12 and also buffs short. Bison backpack, and now the weapon customization for Paul. Give him the Thunderbolt bazookas in each hand. That is his upgrade. And now the WS-14B shield on his left shoulder, and right we can actually leave alone because that's still the nicest missile launcher that we can actually have right now. Now Alder, you're going to get the Persea, obviously, for weight limits. And let's see, leave the arms and legs alone, not a problem. And let's see, you're melee, you're mainly melee. Let's see, that's actually worse. You know, the Gland's fire control system is still best for Alder. You know, melee 99, long 99, so we don't need to change that on him at all. That's totally fine as it is. Can't upgrade the melee weapons, obviously. WS-14B shield. There we go. That does it for Alder. And now Hans over here in Trojan, he's set up pretty much the same way Paul was. So Persea torso, leave the arms and legs alone. Not a problem. Not a problem. And I'm pretty sure he's running the same. Let's see. No, I think we... Yeah, we need the L-Walked. Must have said that wrong the first time. The L-Whacked, however you pronounce that. And the backpack, and then we're going to modify the weapons. Thunderbolt bazooka, right shoulder is going to get modified to the WS-14B shield. And that'll do it for Hans. Now, for Gregorio, Blizaya 2, Blizaya 2, Blizaya 2, and you can't get away with Blizaya 2, it looks like. Pious, legs for mobility and added defense. And let's see, his CPU, what's his CPU going to be? Let's see, he's not melee and long, he's melee and dodge. Let's see, does anything buff both melee and dodge currently, or do we got any stat increases? Best we can do is give him the buff of the Proximo fire control system, so that's what Gregorio's going to get. Bison backpack. Nothing we can really do for melee weapons as you've seen, so we're going to go over and give him the... Let's see, where is it? And we're going to go to the left shoulder, and we're going to equip him with the WS-14B shield and do the exact same thing for the right shoulder. Almost went past that. Now it's taken care of. And of course, you know, I've been using her to grind the arena, but we got plenty of money now, so I'm going to modify her setup actually. And probably going to keep her short range now. Used to have her as melee, going to have her as short range now with the way her skill set is. And I think her arms left alone. Yeah, we're going to leave the 0 on there. Not a problem. And she's got the pious legs. And we're just going to put the Proximo CPU on her for sake of simplicity. Not a problem. And we're going to upgrade her weapons. We're just going to give her the... I'm going to give her 2 Art Assault Gs. And we're going to update her left and right shoulders. Because, like, you got to keep in mind, you know, she can do all right with, like, melee and short range, but Molly here cannot learn any long range skills. She cannot learn guide, and she's terrible at guide anyway. So all you can really do is swap her out for another melee or short range character as needed. And, you know, Bobby here, you know, we're going over the Three Stooges right now. Bobby's not that great either, as you've seen. Leave the arms and legs alone. Update your fire control system accordingly. We're going to give him the LWACT fire control system with the way his stats are set and the way his equipment is set. I'm going to take care of that right there. Thunderbolt Bazooka, Thunderbolt Bazooka. Leave the missile launcher alone, as that Sarah's is still pretty much the best one we got. Update your shield, and that's going to take care of Bobby. Now, Purunga is obviously, you know, melee, since he cannot learn guide. He unfortunately cannot learn guide, so update him to the Blazaya torso and arms for that much needed improvement on hit and HP. And he's already got the pious legs. Let's see. He can't learn guide. What fire control system are you going to go with? Looks like we're going to go with the Mezzo fire control system to buff the melee. That seems to be the most ideal one for Purunga at this point. And for the left and right shoulders, we're going to modify that to the WS-14B shield, since that's the newly upgradable one, as you have seen in many of the other upgrades. And Yihin is going to see what we're going to do for Yihin. I don't think we'll be able to squeeze the Blazaya 2 in there. We're going to try, but I might have to swap that out. I might actually have to swap that out for the Perzea. Nope, not going to happen. Not going to happen with our setup for him, unfortunately. So, looks like we're going to have to switch to the Perzea torso just to have enough power. And we're going to go with the Blazaya 2 arms. And we've already got the pious legs on ourselves. Let's see, what CPU are we going to go with? What CPU are we going to go with? We've already got the Glance CPU, which maximizes melee and long. There's nothing more we really need to do for him. I don't think he's going to need a new fire control system for the rest of the game. So slap the Bison backpack on him. No problem. You can't change your missile launcher, so just go to the right shoulder. And you're going to modify this to be the WS-14B. And that concludes Yihin's mech, Gario. And now we got, looks like all we got left right now is Ralph. And I already know with Ralph's setup, which is basically the same as Yihin. You're going to go with the Perzea torso to increase power, HP, and defense. And then let's see, for the arms, you're going to go with the Blazaya 2, obviously to max out the HP and get a slightly better hit. He's already got the pious legs. Let's see, does he have the associated fire control system he needs? He does not have the Glance fire control system, since he's been so successful with long and melee. Not really worried about dodge, so he's going to get the Glance fire control system and then the Bison backpack. Cannot modify the missile launcher, so just go straight over to the right shoulder. And what you're going to do is equip him with the WS-14B shield. Alright, so that sums up everyone's equipment if you have actually been following along in this OP walkthrough of the game, along with the achievements and the other tips that I've shown you in preparation for, obviously, if you want to do New Game Plus once this walkthrough playthrough has actually been concluded and completed. So, once you have done and finished all that, obviously, save your game, and I will see you on the next video.